Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I would appreciate it majorly. So I just wanted to give an update on the missing Colorado mom, Suzanne Morphew. Who's been missing for 3 months exactly as of Monday, 2 days ago. That was the 3-month anniversary, July 10th. She went missing on May 10th, and which was Mother's Day Sunday. I think around 5:45 p.m. Early evening is when the neighbor called the police after talking to Barry. According to the way Barry tells the story, if you go by that video sort of interview that he did, where he doesn't know supposedly that he's being videoed by that YouTuber, I think his name's Tyson Draper, and he says that his daughters were running late, and they had texted their mother Happy Mother's Day but didn't get a text back, so they got worried. They called a neighbor. The neighbor went over to the home, saw the car in the driveway, but the bike was missing, so just assumed she had gone for a bike ride. She didn't return, and that's when she called Barry, and because she was worried. Barry said he was worried too. Let's be on the safe side, call the police. That was 5:45 p.m. Sunday, Mother's Day, But because, I don't know if they were handing out flyers, I believe, on Monday, the FBI and maybe the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, Colorado Bureau of Investigation. I'm not exactly sure, how many people, but that was in the news as well on Monday. But one of the family members, so there's been a little bit of news, and because of the 3-month anniversary, them trying to keep her story in the news and on people's, in people's minds, and keep it, out in front, so that people don't just forget and the story goes away, and so she doesn't just remain a missing persons, But one of her family members, one of Suzanne's family members, actually opened up to one of the reporters in the area. I think it's for Colorado Springs. Fox 21 is a Colorado Springs local affiliate, I believe. Lauren Sharf, who's done a number of stories on this case, as well as Amber Jo Cooper, who's also with Fox 21. I don't know. Well, it was Lauren Sharf's story. But in that story, a couple things. There was a number of new items, but the main thing was that a family member had opened up, for the first time to reporters, and but it was somebody who remained anonymous. We don't know exactly who it is, but they called her, a family member of Suzanne. So I assume that's on Suzanne's side of the family, a sister, a cousin, one of her parents, we don't know. And I think by going by some of the social media, I thought I figured out who it was, but it's not really terribly important. So I don't think it's one of the daughters, though. I don't think that's. I don't think that's the case, but it could be. Anyways. So, and some of the things that this family member of Suzanne told Lauren Sharf is, was a little troubling, and basically said that they're concerned. They said they're concerned that Barry's not telling investigators everything, and and a couple of other items is what they said, that he refused 2 polygraphs and a critical analysis test. And also that the data from Barry's truck did not match what he told police. Now, I don't have much to say about that. Although I don't know exactly. I guess a police officer, investigator, is possibly divulged that stuff to a family member from Suzanne. I suppose that's possible, hoping to basically just learn more about the family, and but normally that stuff wouldn't necessarily, be revealed, even to close family members, because anybody is considered a suspect, and you just can't give that information to somebody, because it could lead back to somebody that they believe to be their prime suspect, and I mean, basically Barry's the focus here of this particular piece of information, you know. And I mean, the family member states that they're worried Barry's not telling investigators everything. So, you know, there was an earlier report actually by the same person, Lauren Scharf, that, Lauren Scharf had clarified a little bit, because there was a number of reports that the Morphew home in Colorado in Maysville, it's Maysville, I believe, which is west of Salida, you know, which is the closest town. Maysville's basically, I don't even know the population of Maysville. I think it's a few thousand, you know. I'm not real sure, but it's very sparse. Their home is in the middle of sort of a very heavily wooded area where there's only a couple of other homes nearby that are separated by 500 feet or more. And I believe actually in another report by Lauren Scharf, she said the other homes in that same area on Route County Line Road, Route 125, I believe it is, that intersects with US Highway 50, where she went missing. That's where her bike was, I believe, located, in that area, you know, and that's where she supposedly was bike riding, before she went missing. But those other two homes that are in that same wooded area, they're vacation rentals, so there was nobody even living in those homes. I don't know where the neighbor lives that the daughters had supposedly called to go check on Suzanne. But Lauren Scharf was saying that they did in fact get a second search warrant to search the Morphew home a second time, you know, and they had gone back. It wasn't just to search the area, you know, surrounding the home, and they may have done that too, but they actually got a second search warrant to enter the home and search for something. We have no idea what. That's pretty unusual, and then Lauren Scharf was even saying that's typically quite difficult to do, to convince a judge to give you a warrant for a second time to go into the same residence that you had already searched before, you know. So just wanted to kind of update that as well. So, you know, that's the latest news, you know. I mean, it's tough to compare all these things, you know, like what this family member of Suzanne basically said in this article with what maybe has previously been out there. For instance, compare it to the YouTube video, you know, from Tyson Draper, where Barry supposedly doesn't know he's being filmed and is basically telling him everything that, you know, he believes, you know, has, you know, all the circumstances surrounding the events before she went missing and when she went missing, and compare that to what the family member of Suzanne is told to Lauren Scharf, the Fox 21 reporter. I mean, you almost think that it makes you think that was, you know, staged. You know, that's one more indicator that maybe that video with Barry and Tyson Draper was just set up so that he could tell the story the way he wanted to tell it, you know, without having to speak to an actual reporter who's going to challenge him and question him, you know, and follow up with questions and press. It almost makes you think that is, you know, this new information kind of makes you think that, but it's hard to rely on anything, you know. So, I mean, my biggest issue, well, not my biggest, but one of the problems that I have with the whole thing is the timing. The Mother's Day, her going missing Mother's Day around 5:45 p.m. That's at least when the police were called. So 5 p.m., 4 p.m., you know, early evening, afternoon, Mother's Day. It's almost the opportune time for somebody to abduct her, you know, because it's Mother's Day and it's almost dinner time. And, you know, where she was abducted, apparently it seems as though we're 3 months into this and there's been no, you know, revelation that it was picked up on any camera anywhere. So both the time and place where she was abducted is almost like the ideal place for that criminal activity to happen, without it being noticed, and because there wouldn't be many people on the road at that time, on a Sunday, on a Mother's Day, near dinner time. And so either which is possible, it was some freak accident where she was taken by wildlife, a cougar or mountain lion. And I don't know if cougars are actually in Colorado, but an attack by a mountain lion of something like that, even though I think the some sort of evidence of that would have been discovered, blood or whatever, or a random person just got extremely lucky, and extremely lucky that she was there at that particular place at that moment in time when everyone else would be normally home with their families, not on the road, getting ready for Mother's Day dinner, Sunday Mother's Day dinner. But the other thing is that she was, according to Barry's story, that he told to Tyson Draper, that his daughters were supposed to be home for Mother's Day, that they were going to be coming home, returning from a camping trip. They were out of state. that was reported in Lauren Scharf's report as well. And where they live in Maysville, Salida, Colorado, is basically central Colorado. So the nearest, wherever they went, the daughters, would have been about 4 hours or more away. But they were supposed to be home. That's what Barry tells that individual. So, but they were running late, and they weren't home, obviously, because they needed to call the neighbor to go check on her. And I don't know how long that took. I don't know when they actually called the neighbor, but the police didn't get called until 5:45. Whether it was an hour before that sounds about right. But she wasn't supposed to be alone then. She was supposed to be with her daughters. That's how I understand it. So she wasn't even supposed to be on that bike ride, and at that time, alone. And so the fact that she wasn't even supposed to be by herself at that time, which turns out to have been a very opportune time, because it's a time when nobody would be on the road, in a location where apparently, no camera picked up any side of a car coming or going, or her. That seems like a number of circumstances that don't that doesn't compute exactly, It almost makes you think that that Barry had something to do with it, and that's the only way it could be. But then why wouldn't the daughters be speaking out? Even if it was their own father that was responsible for it, disputing the fact that they were running late that day, or that they, disputing his account of it to the YouTuber, where he says that they were running late. They texted their mother, "Happy Mother's Day," and didn't get a return text and got worried. So that's pretty much, that's pretty much the story there. That's where I am right now. But personally, so it's either, an animal, some kind of very, unfortunate coincidence of timing and an animal attack, or some random abductor who is the luckiest random abductor, and, very lucky, or it's Barry. But then why wouldn't other people within his immediate family be speaking out against, even if it's their own father, or there's something else going on? And I don't know. People who watch my channel probably know that my feeling is there's something else going on, and I actually think she's still alive. That's my opinion. But I could be wrong, and I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right, and that she is still alive. and that there's something else going on. And that's kind of what I think. And that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.